It's a perfect situation.
I apologise if there's any noise because the house across the street is having its roof replaced. But now we've got the sourdough, and can you see how frothy it is? That's the sponge, and it's really active. So the thing we do now, because it was a bit longer than overnight, it was about, what, 14 hours, something like that. I normally do this by weight, but as one or two people said, I can't do that, I need to know the cups. I've googled it today, that 230 grams of water, which is basically 1 cup. I have a Danish dough whisk that I use, but you can use a spoon, a fork, whatever implement you prefer to use. But all this sponge now is going into that 1 cup of water. Don't get as much of it out as you can do. I'll spend time sorting that out in a bit. See, I used to do it in a smallish bowl, but I'm doing a few trials and tests today. So, cuckoo clock. So I've got 3 starters on the go, and I've got 2 other, not starters, sponges on the go. So I'm making a total of 3. Right, as I was saying, 1 cup of water and your sponge mix, your starter sponge mix. To that, I will add a couple of tablespoons of oil. I've got here about 100 grams, which is 3/4 of a cup if you like, of wholemeal flour, and 360 grams of self-rising flour. That makes a total of 460 grams of flour, which is approximately 3 3/4 cups of flour. And you can do whatever ratio you like. You can do half wholemeal, half self-raising, no, not self-raising, strong bread flour. Sorry about that. It's strong bread flour. So you can do half white, half wholemeal, 1/4, whichever ratio you like. Now put some salt in. Where's my salt gone? Yeah, salty salt. Found it. Hiding in plain sight. Now add about a teaspoon of salt. All I've got at the moment is this grinder for salt, so it takes quite a while to actually do it. So it's there. Whoop. That's the salt. And then we just mix it up. This is a no need recipe, so you don't have to spend 10 minutes kneading it or anything like that. Just basically give it time. Now after a while you'll notice that it's getting a bit more difficult. That's alright. I just get my spatula and use that. What you basically want it to do now is just all of it come together. You want all the flour to be soaked up by the water and that in it. And if it gets to the point that it's not really mixing well, put my hands in. Scrape the sides of the bowl. I am not kneading it, I am just bringing it all together. Now we have it, and let me wash my hands. Now all we do is cover it. I've made these bowl covers. There are just normal fabric on the outside, but the inside is like a vinyl that I can wipe clean if I get any bits on it. So I just cover it over and leave it somewhere warm. As it's summertime and it's warm, I'll just leave it out on the side of my kitchen for at least an hour, maybe 2, and then we'll come back and look at it. It's been a couple of hours now. Oh, this is the wrong one. I've got, like I said, I've got several on the go. This is a normal one. It's made exactly the same as we just did, but it's with home ground flour. I can't put the lid back on, that's it. So that isn't the one I'm after. Right, this is the normal one I normally always make, and it's been about 2 hours now, and it has risen an awful lot. So the trick with this one is, now get some water and just sprinkle it, normal cold water, and sprinkle it on your work surface. Get a bowl, scraper, bread scraper, bench scraper. I prefer to use my spatula, and just pull it out and drop it on the water. That's that one. Put your hands in the water so they're nice and wet. Pick it up and slap it down and fold it. Twist and do the same again about 5 times. This helps to knock out any air and mix it into a nice unified mass. Now this actually will be the top. Get on, that's better. Rolling better now. That'll be the top. This bit will be the bottom. So I've got here a bowl. I've greased with lard and then put a bit of oil in it, and there's some sunflower seeds and sesame seeds, and put what's going to be the top on the bottom, because you're going to be tipping that out in a bit, and you leave it for another couple of hours. If you want it, what I've done before now, I've got to this stage and thought I'm not going to be able to cook it in time because I'm using the oven or it's late or whatever. I've covered it and put it in my fridge and left it till the following morning, and it's been perfectly fine. This is what I mean about sourdough being so forgiving. I mean, at the stage it was in the larger bowl, I've even put that in the fridge and it retards it for a bit until the next day when I could turn it into this, let it rise and then bake it off. But that needs another hour, anywhere between an hour and 5 hours. Whenever you want to cook it, it'll be ready for you. Here I have my Dutch oven saucepan type thing. It's about 7 inches wide, and it's been in the oven for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and it's been on gas mark 6, which is, gas mark 6, which is the equivalent of about 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Be extremely careful because it's extremely hot. This is the sourdough bread, and now it's in it goes. Sometimes it falls over the edge, sometimes it doesn't matter. It'll sort itself out in the cooking process. So put this back in the oven and put it in the oven for about 25 minutes at the same temperature of gas mark 6, 400 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'll just show you the other two I'm doing as well today. This is normal, same as we've just done, but I used homegrown flour, and I haven't got another dish to put it in, and I'm going to be using the same thing. So in fact that's quite a bit bigger, that is. I think I'm going to have to get my other Dutch oven out for that one. And this is done exactly the same, but I've used home milled rye flour. Now I don't expect this to rise much more, but we'll see how it goes and see which I like the flavour of. There you are. It had 25 minutes, gas mark 6, 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I took the lid off and put it back in for a further 7 minutes. And let's just get it out now. You don't have to use cast iron, you can use any sort of dish that is oven safe and it's got a lid to it, and you can use that as a Dutch oven. I don't know if you'll hear that. Well, let's get it closer. Hollow sounding. That's what you want. Well, and there you are, your sourdough loaf. I wrap it up in a towel, and that makes a crust, well, towel, tea towel, whatever. It makes the crust a bit less crusty, if you like. It makes it a bit softer. It's still crunchy in that, but a bit softer. If you want it extra crunchy, you just bung it back in the oven like it is, not in a pot or anything, for about 5 minutes, and it'll help to crisp up the sides better. But that's your sourdough loaf. Thank you. Bye. This camera doesn't take very good pictures in the kitchen when the fluorescent light's on, but this is just to show you the 3 loaves I've been baking today. We've already had a sample because I wanted to taste test the differences. So that's the one we made with normal shop bought flour, and I've just cut the crust off, but you can see how nice and soft it is. This is made with wheat that I buy and mill myself, Mason barking, and you can see again the softness, and that has more taste to it than that one. This is done exactly the same, but I used rye flour that I mill myself, and you can see that's all nice and soft as well, and this has even more taste than that one. So out of the 3 loaves that I've done today, that's the nicest, then that, but that's still really nice. As I say, I've said before, I've been making these type of bread for quite a few years now. Well, it's over 3 years that starter's been going, and so I've been making it for 3 years. Bye.
It's a perfect situation.